Hello world, welcome back to Accelerate and welcome to the Audi SQ5.
Now we're here today to find out if this is possibly Audi's best all-rounder.
Very curious for this, so let's get stuck in.
Let's do it.
Now, I know very little about these cars. As people that know me, I tend to go for my older sheds, as Kenny likes to call them. But fortunately, you know, nice. You're a lot more experienced in the higher end cars.
Yeah.
So
well,
give us some info.
Right, well, obviously, this is based on the normal Q5. They've sportied it up. So you got a nice 21-inch wheels. Now, these are an option on the Plus model. Okay. But this is not a Plus model.
Right, okay.
However, this car has got the 21s, which look absolutely stunning.
Yep.
Really sets it apart from the normal Q5.
I gotta say, like we say with most sporty cars, the S is not Audi's top of the full sport range. The S is designed to be subtle, sporty improvements. Yeah. And that's one thing I will say they have absolutely nailed. They have.
The styling on this thing, you know, it's not even that big. You know, you look at like the X, I know it's based on more like an X3 and a Vogue, etc., etc.
But you see here the Q5 and you think it's going to to be a competitor to the X5.
And it was until I see this car in the flesh, it's like, you know, the roofline's lower than me.
Yep.
It's not very big, but when you're in there, there's still plenty of space.
Yes.
Obviously, you've got the Audi signature grille.
Yep.
The quad exhausts.
Really sets it up. Yeah.
And the brakes.
The brakes, yeah.
The brakes on this thing are phenomenal.
Yes.
Also the V6T badge on the side.
Yes, so it is actually powertrain-wise.
It's a 3-litre V6 bi-turbo.
Bi-turbo? Okay.
Yeah, it's 313 horsepower and 650 newton meters of torque. Now, for something that's 2 ton, which is massively heavy, considering well, once again, you think of these vehicles, you think of something massive.
But a good friend of ours, Liam, we did a feature on his Audi A5. That's a very similar powertrain, but there obviously are differences.
Yes.
But I said, look, well, let's get inside and see what features are inside.
Yeah, let's check it out. So climbing into the SQ5, it's pretty much the same as any Audi, really, to be honest. It is very good quality materials.
I've always said, when you jump in any sort of VAG car, you know what to expect if you've been in one.
Exactly, yeah.
Which is not a bad thing.
No, it's not. They say everything's well put together. For example, the seats, full leather, SQ5 embossed into the seat, which is a nice little touch, isn't it?
Yes.
Come on. White stitching as well on the seats. You've got the Audi signature D-shaped steering wheel, nice and thick, plenty of grip. The only thing I really let it down interior-wise is these aluminium things. Now, they do scratch up and dent up pretty nasty, as you can see.
That's a very good point. I didn't even notice that, but now you've pointed it out, I've noticed it.
Yeah, it's just a normal Audi thing, unfortunately.
Yeah. Now, you've owned a couple of Audis.
I have, yes.
So you've actually got experience with them.
Yeah, I really like them. I do prefer these interiors to like the Mercedes or the BMW.
I'm a Beamer guy, but I completely agree with you on that.
They do look a lot more modern. Obviously, this infotainment system is very dated now. This is the last of the first gen SQ5. It's a 66 plate. They brought a new model in 17. This one hasn't got sat-nav, but to be honest, it wouldn't be a kicker for me because your phone sat-nav's better than any sat-nav you have in the vehicle anyway.
Technology's great at the time, but technology dates very quickly, as we all know.
Yeah, so there's some nice little features on here. The sound
run through the features
good.
with us.
Sound system's not too bad. I think it's a basic Audi console system. Plenty of bass. You've got your auto-dimming rear view mirror, nice little sunglass holder up there. I love the mood lighting on Audi as well. You've got these little red lights.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're all through the handle, everything. It's nice little touch, obviously.
German touches.
Yeah. All the controls on your steering wheel, nice, easy to access with your flappy paddles.
Yeah.
Climate control, cruise control, auto dimming light. Auto lights. Everything
all
you
the
can
usual
think
German
of.
features.
So there's pointless me trying to run through every single thing. I love the Alcantara on the door as well.
I did notice that was one of the first things I noticed when I jumped in.
And the roof lining is really nice. It's black.
Oh.
Obviously, some roof linings are lighter, but it's just a nice cabin to be in, and it doesn't feel huge.
I mean, we're in a world where SUVs and crossovers are taking over.
Yes.
And obviously, one of the main reasons for that is space and driving position, and already you can tell.
It's nice. You're elevated. You're not low down on the floor. You can see everything, but once again, it's not intimidating. It's not big.
Yes, which is, I suppose, that's a very good point, actually.
It is,
when you're inside, it doesn't feel as big as the outside.
No, it doesn't. Obviously, the switchgear and everything's nice. You know, the way Audi's
We've always said, haven't we?
It's nice. It's just a
quoting Kenny, he said they're nice and clicky.
They are very clicky. They're very, really nice. But apart from that, you've got your basics, cup holders, etc., etc. Once again, pointless me run through all because you guys are already going to know what's going on.
Yeah, it's very German. Everything works.
Everything you need is in here.
So another reason people buy them is to hold a family. So let's jump in the back.
Let's jump in the back and check what's in it.
So like we've said, one of the main reasons people buy these cars over estates and things like that is the room to haul the family around. Now I'm 5'9", so I'd say I'm about average. I like to think I'm taller, but I'm probably not. Even jumping in, because of the ride height of the car, I mean, you basically step in, there's none of this sort of crouching down. Now I'll be the first to say I've never understood the SUV crossover thing until sitting in them. Driving position is great, and even in the back, I've got plenty of leg room. Yes. My headroom is great, and I noticed even Kenny's a lot taller and bigger than me, but even he seems to fit comfortably.
Well, that seat is the position I would sit in on the front.
That's what I was just about to say. That is your driving position. Like I said, I say I'm about the average height. I mean, you've got more than enough room. Yeah. As Kenny has said, I mean, the quality that Audi give, you know what to expect, you know everything you touch. I mean, even the backs of the seats, you've got leather there. Alcantara continues onto the back doors, which is always a nice feature. Even the white stitching continues onto the rear. So the attention to detail is great. Now this car is a 16 plate, and I mean, the leather is just still, it's all just so plush, it's all still really nice. And what surprised me is the features in the back. We've got your climate control here, and it's not just the fans, it's actually heat controlled as well. Just below that, you've got your own power outlets. You can't call them cigarette lighters anymore. Moving on to the windows, this is another thing that surprised me. This car's so well equipped. Sunshade here, very simple to operate to hide the sun as well. Now, as I said, I'm not used to all these features. I'm used to sort of older cars. But everywhere I look, I mean, there's just something. You've got your very standard armrest here. But
it's nice and elevated though.
It is. I was just say, it's all wrapped in leather, and that's a very good point. A lot of them are a bit too far down. This is very. Do you know what?
Sat in an armchair.
This is such a nice place to be. I hate how nice modern cars are, but I am so impressed with this car. Talking about practicality, let's take a look in the boot.
Oh, the actual boot, sorry.
So coming around to the back, again, like we said with the SQ5 or the Q5s in general, just the dimensions of them are brilliant. So it's getting to the boot. There is an option for the power boot. This one hasn't got it, again, which wouldn't be a deal breaker for me because, that wasn't the greatest.
You can operate a boot.
Exactly. So boot space, I mean, it's huge. I don't know the dimension, but they are actually very big.
What we're going to do next is the Drew test.
Oh, of course, yep. Right, so the main thing is...
So if you were kidnapped, would you be comfortable in there for a couple of hours?
I actually would. I think this would be a very considerable vehicle to get kidnapped in.
Sweet. That's my next one then.
That's fantastic. But you've even, amongst all this space as well, like I said, the load height is very good. It's sort of almost knee level, so you can easily get some heavy bits in here. You've even got additional storage with your spare wheel as well. So stuff like that is always very handy and very German. I like things like that. What else have we got? You've got your standard, no doubt being German, that's probably the perfect size for the oil that's recommended. Let's have a little play around. There's stuff in there you're probably, hopefully never going to have to mess with.
Yeah, you've also got a power point.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yes, an
auxiliary power point in the back just there, so if you do want to get your fridge and everything, you've even got the tie downs. I mean, it's so German, even in the back, it's just nice.
It is, the quality's there. The only thing I don't like is this.
Why is that?
Because personally, I prefer a pull-out one.
That's a very good point.
It's easier for loading if you did have something taller.
Yes.
But that is what it is.
So being the very practical vehicle it is, we've covered all that, so I think now, let's see how it drives.
Let's go.
Out on the road in the SQ5. Now, first things to note, do not confuse the S car with the S-Line. The S-Line is basically your additional trim that you can put on the car. This is an actual S car, so the SQ5 is the performance version. And I want to get something off my chest. As far as we're aware, this is the first...
Sorry about that. There was a M5 E60 in there.
Oh, problem.
Yes, in that blue colour.
We're in an Audi.
Bluey. I know,
shouldn't
but...
be
V10 M5s! Sorry. I'm really sorry to cut you off here.
Anyway, that was worth it. Anyway, need to get something off my chest. S-Line is the the S cars are performance, and as far as we're aware, this is the first S car with a TDi engine.
As far as I'm aware, yes, it is.
So this is a load of nice cars driving around today.
911, GTS. Wow.
Now, I'm very much, if it's a performance car, it shouldn't be a diesel, but I am also very aware that modern diesels, I mean, a lot of them will outrun their petrol equivalents because the engine, the powertrain in these things is very impressive.
It's really impressive, but also, first thing I got to note is how quiet this thing is. Do you know what I mean? We're not even raised voices. We're doing 53 miles per hour.
Yep.
and I'm not having to raise my voice.
Do you know one of the first things I noticed, which may sound daft, but I'm used to older cars, like we've said. Do you know, even starting it up for a diesel, you expect it to be. It's
like my Fiesta, chugga.
I think that's why, because I drove down in that. So yeah. But
this is
modern diesels, I mean, it's got to be said, they are a million miles from where they were.
Audi always nail, in my eyes, comfort in the ride.
It's what they do, isn't it?
Yeah, now, like we said, this is on a more sporty suspension than the Q5.
And big wheels.
Big wheels, small tyres, and it takes the bumps so well. This is quite bumpy here. And in my Fiesta, I'd be headbutting the roof and everything.
Exactly.
You know?
And this is the sport one.
Exactly.
Now, 21-inch wheels, that is crazy. I mean, you go back to the, you know, like the S cars have been around since the 90s, and that's what I said, this technology and how everything has evolved. This is not even the biggest one they do, and it's on 21-inch wheels, and they don't look big.
I was just going to say, they don't actually look too big on you, yeah.
Funny enough, when we were on our way down, a normal Q5 pulled up next to you.
It did.
And like we've said, Audi's S division is meant to be subtle to an extent.
It is.
But you know, when the standard one pulled up next to you, a lot of people that don't know, not into cars, wouldn't even look twice. But you know, when you see them next to each other,
you can see the difference straight away.
Now, this is not my type of car. I'd never lust after one of these, but seeing them like that, and even seeing it in traffic,
yes,
very nice.
As I say, it looks expensive as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, this car was bought by the owner. I'm pretty sure he said about 31,000 they paid for it 4 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
Still worth at least 25,000 now. It's got 50,000 miles on the clock. It's a 66 plate.
Like, to me, this feels like a brand new car.
But yeah, they've also owned it for 4 years and had zero problems with it. The only thing I really don't like about this thing is I can see the rest of the earth in my wing mirrors. They are absolutely huge.
It's funny how you've mentioned it.
Really are. You know, it's like Dumbo, if you look from the inside. So we can give it a little bit now. One thing I'm already impressed with is body roll. There's not a lot of body roll for such a big vehicle.
Oh yeah, and I'm assuming, is it... God, that torque.
Wow. Oh my God.
You don't expect something this big to be that.
It's like me.
Wow, you've just found your soulmate.
I have, yeah. This is
your spirit car.
I was just going to say my spirit car.
I was trying to think.
It is.
Yeah, so it's a very big car, but when it needs to be, it's quite agile, which is exactly like you.
Yeah, but do you know, we didn't obviously go nuts, but I did push it a little bit into that roundabout. And there's no body roll, there's no drama.
Even from the passenger seat, I was very confident. It felt very... And the road
was as well.
We said about performance. I mean, this is why I say I'm not one to chase figures, because 300 odd horsepower, but you know the torque pulling us out of the corner then?
That's why I said it gripped so well. Do you know what I mean? It put that power down everywhere you needed it. All right, there's probably electronics doing what it needs to do, but there was just no drama anyway.
That's why you're paying for a car like this.
Yeah, exactly. And you can, like I said, you point and it doesn't feel like a 2-ton car.
No,
it doesn't.
It honestly feels, like I said, we reviewed Liam's A5. I'm still getting the feeling that this feels like an A5 in the best way. It doesn't feel like you're driving a big 4x4.
Not at all. This is crazy. The grip levels on this. Check this out on this runabout.
So it's absolutely no drama. I'm struggling to pull myself straight.
And me.
Wow.
Got a little bit of tyre squeal.
Yeah, but I mean, you're going around the roundabouts. But we put it through some roads then. Do you know what? The power level for the handling, it is an all-rounder, because it's doing everything really well, and the way you were going through the corners, you were on and off the throttle, onto the brakes, nothing felt like,
it didn't
was
squirrel or anything.
Confidence inspiring.
It done everything I needed it to do then. Yeah. Absolutely everything, and I had every confidence in it as well. Yeah. Do you know, genuinely, my heart was pumping then.
Really?
Adrenaline, yeah, that was such a buzz.
Because to know from here, which is probably a good thing, it felt so smooth, and it felt so, like you said, no body roll. I was sort of, I was relaxed, as in, like, I was very comfortable with what he was doing.
I was so confident in doing it, and honestly, the G's, I could feel myself. These bolsters work pretty well, considering they're just a normal sports seat. But yeah, we were on the edge then. You could feel the tyres starting to break away, but no drama. It didn't.
Personally.
Yeah, but it still didn't break away.
No.
Now, I'm going to say this, and you're probably going to disagree until you drive it properly, but this is one of the best vehicles I think I have driven.
Shut up.
I swear. As an all-rounder, this car is really, really impressive, and I mean that. As in the aspects of everything, the comfort.
Yeah.
the styling.
Like you said, as a package, yeah.
It's amazing. It really, really is.
Wow.
And Pete was saying to me, you're going to be impressed. And I'm not going to lie, I was thinking, yeah, whatever.
But you're not easy to impress. Like I said, this is the great thing about us reviewing cars. Like I said, I'm used to my older sheds, as he likes to say. So I'm easily impressed with a lot of cars. You're really not, which is why you use this. Has really surprised me. So we said about performance, 0 to 16, what was it? 5.1?
5.1, yes.
I'll just give it a soft launch. It's got a bit of lag.
The noise.
Second gear, oh my God. Do you know, the more the power build, the more you go through the revs, the more you go through the gears, it seems to pick up even better.
It does, yeah. As soon as you get it rolling, because of the weight, you can feel the weight when you start.
And you have got the lag, which is what you get from a turbo, especially a diesel.
Yes.
But as soon as it kicks in, like you said, a lot of people mention the noise. I mean, this is completely standard. Me and Liam were actually talking. I don't know if it is a valved exhaust, because when the boost kicks in, it makes a hell of a noise.
It really does, yeah. It's really impressive. Everything about it, like I said, you've got the noise, and it's a diesel. You've got the economy, which is 42 miles a gallon.
But it is still a performance vehicle. Right? Let's see what the kickdown's like.
Performance focused, yes.
It's that mid-range torque.
Yep.
Oh my God, it just... See, change up, and you can feel it going back into the power band.
Yeah.
I mean, and you were absolutely right. Kenny said off camera, it doesn't feel that quick, but when you look down, I sort of looked down, oh, right, I better slow down.
Yeah, you're in the license losing territory very, very quickly in this thing. Couple of little twisties.
Couple of little twists. Oh my God, you know what? Like you said, the body roll or lack thereof.
Yep.
Oh my God.
It just point and go, doesn't it?
And then straight away, you're just back into I'm a normal car mode.
Yeah, cruise.
Well, me and Kenny had a bit of a heated discussion saying when it comes to performance cars, there are certain figures you shouldn't look at, and miles per gallon being one of them, or economy.
Yeah.
But in a car like this, like I said, it's not the RS, it's an S. So I think it is very much you should consider economy. And like you said, this will still return you off for 40 odd miles per gallon?
42 average, they reckon, combined, and 47 plus on the run. And as an all-rounder, as we keep saying, what mod you on?
As an old alternative, because obviously there is a newer generation of Q5, I would say this is a brilliant alternative. Like I said, I still think this feels like a brand new car. I don't jump in this and think it's old. But as you were going back to what you were saying, with all the competitors, I'm a BMW man, and I would take one of these. Granted, I haven't driven an X3, but this is more appealing.
I was going to say, even visually, the X3 looks like someone vomited on vomit. I'm sorry, it does.
And stuck a stupid price tag on it.
Yeah, they do it. I'm sorry, but yeah, they must have gone like this when they drew it.
The Audi SQ5, the first performance diesel. I don't know if it is the first performance diesel, but the first one that we've done.
Yes, it is. So, the question that we asked, is it Audi's best all-rounder?
I mean, it's not perfect. No car is perfect.
Never will be.
But I do hate to admit that I honestly don't know. Like you said, apart from off-road, which we couldn't test.
Yeah.
But how often are you going to take it off-road?
Well, yeah, you don't buy these cars to take them off-road.
No, these days you don't. But honestly, from what we've experienced today, we've tried to put as many miles as we can on it. There's not one thing that this car can't do and do well. We try and find some negative. The only thing I don't like, which is probably down to personal preference, these are, am I right in saying these are sort of a DSG, as in like a dual clutch transmission? Yes. Every now and again you do get that bit of jerk, you get the bit of lag. Personal preference, I prefer autos with a torque converter. But honestly, I was trying to find fault with this car.
Well, that's what I'm pointing out the mirrors for, because there's not much I don't like about it.
This is a review. Price-wise, what were they new? They were easily a 45 grand.
45 start. I would think it was just under the 45k start. I think they went up to about 52 plus.
And you can pick them up nowadays, did you?
This, roughly about 25, 26,000. It's got 50,000 miles on the clock, and it's a 66 plate.
Which sounds like a lot, but I mean, I would say that's a lot, but then...
It does, but
look what you're getting.
I know, it's a lot of car for the money.
There is a lot to talk about this car. We could go on and on.
And we did.
Which we have anyway, but we're both... Like, I knew I was going to be impressed, because I'm easily impressed. I'm surprised at your reaction, but less. I mean, wow. We have got a lot more reviews planned, so stick with us, guys, because we've really enjoyed this, and it's really... It's just very interesting, so stick with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We will see you in the next one. Boom!